Hey, Kevin here from DIYDork.com. Today I want to show you a really cool furniture flip that I just finished. I took an old mid-century desk and I matched it to a lumberjack chair I did a while back. It's kind of like the future of the Jetsons meets the primitive age of the Flintstones in a really cool kind of cartoony 60s way. So check it out, it was a really cool project. Alright, so here's a cool little mid-century desk and chair that I had redone. If you remember, I have a video of this lumberjack style chair makeover here that I did. And basically I took this back here and painted it with some spray paint, this kind of tan. And then I totally covered it in tape and then drew out my design, cut it out, and then I sprayed the dark brown. And it gives it a really cool kind of cartoony wood grain. And then I done a an old flannel shirt that I found, and a real heavy duty shirt too, real thick, and I used it to cover the seat. And then the bottom here, I just left the very bottoms raw with a little brown stripe around there to kind of differentiate between the white and the brown, and then I painted these blue. So the chair was really cool, but I decided I wanted to find a desk for it. And by the way, I got the chair for 10 bucks. Alright, so then I was at Salvation Army, same place I found that flannel shirt, and they had this desk there. It was 35 bucks. It was in rough shape. This thing was a real beater. I had to do a ton of body work to it, and the top was all messed up, and I decided to go ahead and match it to this chair. So I did the same thing. I pulled out all the drawers and taped them off, painted the brown, painted them all, totally tan. Then I covered them in tape, and then everything you see brown was a pattern that I cut out by hand. I drew by hand and then cut out, peeled the tape, painted them, and then left it as is. So it turned out really cool, kind of that fake wood grain look again. I think of it as, you got your modern desk, and then you got your kind of cartoony 60s look on the wood. So it's kind of like the Jetsons and the Flintstones got together to make some furniture really cool. Alright, so then I also did the same thing on these feet. It actually had brass little covers, little caps on the feet, but it was missing one. So I decided to go ahead and just take them all off and then sand them down, do the same thing, just a little brown detail, a little bit of clear coat on the bottom just to protect them, and it turned out really nice. And the same thing, it just happened to have these little supports just like on the chair, so I painted them the same blue just for a cool little detail. And then the top, I wasn't really sure what to do. It was one of those plastic laminate tops that are really hard to paint because the paint likes to peel off. So I decided to go ahead and sand it down with I think I used 60 grit, and got a nice tooth to it, and then I spray primed the whole thing with a can of spray paint with a white primer. I think it took about 2 cans, but I got it on there really good, and I think that will hold a lot better than just regular like brush or roll-on primer. Then what I did was we painted it this blue. It's the same blue we used on the bottom of the legs, but it was just too in-your-face blue. So I dry brushed some gray and some brown on it, and that's what these spots are. But I had went really overboard. I mean, it was like crazy patina, and then it just looked way too fake. I didn't like it. So I thought, well, I'm gonna go ahead and just paint it blue again. I'll just leave it alone. So then I rolled on another coat of the blue, and then once it dried, you could still see through it. And I thought, you know what, that actually looks pretty cool. That's an interesting little effect. It's like really light patina, and it kind of fits in with the fake wood grain. This is almost like, cartoony fake patina. So I decided to keep it that way. So then once it all dried, the last thing I did was I just coated the top, just the blue top, with some clear lacquer. Brushed it on, and it has it's either 2 or 3 coats, I don't quite remember, but in between each coat I just sanded it real quick with some really smooth sandpaper to smooth it out, and now it's a really nice protected surface. The other thing was it had 3 brass handles on here, and if you saw my video on how to polish up brass really quickly, these are the handles, but they turned out really cool. So anyway, that's a cool little project there too, and I've already had a few people asking about it, but it hasn't quite sold yet. But I'm definitely gonna get pretty good money out of this too. It turned out really awesome.